From 2008 to 2010, one man turned Abia into a war zone. His real name, Obioma Nwankwo, but on the streets they called him Osisikankwu, Lord of the Forest. He wasn't just a criminal, he was running a proper operation. Whole parts of the state were under his control, and he made sure that fear was felt everywhere. This man had lieutenants, he had zones. Abia was divided like gang territory, and ransom money was flowing like water. Aba, the commercial capital, shut down. Markets empty. Schools closing. Even the police, some were ditching uniforms because nobody wanted to be the next target of this dangerous man. It started getting international attention in April of 2010 when 2 German men were kidnapped while they were swimming at a river. He held them for 6 days, then he released them. Then in May, 3 Chinese nationals and 9 Nigerian staff that were kidnapped from a steel company in Aba. Again, held them, released them. But this time, foreign governments started warning their citizens, don't enter Abia State. Then in July, Osisikankwu's gang pulled something wild. They kidnapped 4 top members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists right off the road. People panicked. Newsrooms across the country were begging for the release of these journalists. After a week, the journalists were freed. But at this point, fear had settled in for good. August 2010, that's when he felt like the state was collapsing. His boys robbed 5 banks in Osisioma in broad daylight. Police officers were shot. An Indian businessman murdered a respected gynecologist, Dr. Stanley Uche, abducted, later killed. Nobody was safe in this state. And then he crossed a line that even hardened criminals do not cross. September 27, 2010, his gang kidnapped 15 little children from Abai International School. Babies, primary school age, taken right off the school bus. The entire country was outraged and in shock, the fear. That was it. That day, Governor Theodore Orji said, "It's official, Osisikankwu is enemy number 1. He withdrew any talks of amnesty, called in a full military task force. Thousands of soldiers poured into Abia. Helicopters were flying overhead. Checkpoints on every road. It was war. It was war." Now here's the twist. A few months before his death, Osisikankwu actually tricked a journalist into meeting him. He sent somebody to Vanguard newspaper pretending to want to place an advert. When the reporter showed up in Aba, surprise, it was Osisikankwu himself. He used that moment to rant. He said he was fighting for the Ngwa people. He said that the government had failed the youth. He was claiming that most of his boys were just jobless graduates that were trying to survive. They were frustrated. There was nothing for them in this country. Some even called him a Robin Hood, saying he gave money to the poor and that he only targeted the rich. But let's be honest, there's nothing noble about kidnapping kids or like killing doctors. So. But then December 12, 2010, that's the day that everything ended. The army raided his hideout deep inside Ugwati forest. The official report says the kidnapped family escaped and gave them the tip as to where he might be. But the gist on the street is that his own pregnant girlfriend, Ogochi, she was the one that snitched. He said that she was 3 months pregnant at the time when she was caught. And she gave up all his secrets, the hideouts, the weapons, everything. During that raid, there was a shootout. Osisikankwu and 2 of his top men were killed. Soldiers recovered AK-47, RPGs, all sorts of high-grade weapons. They rescued the hostages. Some of them were teenage girls. They carried his body back to Umahi and paraded it through the streets. For the first time in 2 years, people in Aba could breathe again. It was over. And here's the part that still doesn't sit right. How did one man terrorize the whole state for that long? Was he really that powerful? Did he have somebody protecting him? Of course, some people believe politicians were involved. He had godfathers. That's the reason he lasted so long, because what he did probably served some people's interests. We may never know the full truth because he's dead now. But what we do know is this: Osisikankwu is gone. Yet the poverty, corruption, and broken system that created him is still very much alive. And until that changes, his kind can rise again. Hopefully not, but thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a follow on all my social media. They're in my bio. Thank you.